music curriculum falls. We have our first graduating class this year, and this is our second of 5 recitals that our MACM students are doing in the next several weeks. There is a list on the back of your program of everybody and their uncle that's doing something here over the next 4 or 5 weeks. It is a lot, and we're thrilled to be here to have these kinds of things. So if you are free any of these nights, please. I think the only one that has an admissions charge is the orchestra, but all the other ones are just come and enjoy the music. The spring concert of worship at the end, we do take a free will offering, but that's not an obligation. So we would just love for you to come back and celebrate all the exciting music and theater that we have going on here. Well, I guess theater we do too. We need tickets for Alice in Wonderland, but all the rest are free. And the ones that have a cost to them, they're not terribly expensive. A couple lattes at Starbucks in here right now. All right. Well, before all of our recitals and concerts and performances, we'd like to offer a word of prayer and ask that God will bless the efforts that we are about to experience. Would you pray with me, please? Sovereign God, you are the creator of all that is good. And we are excited to hear what you have put on Tiger's heart and mind. Thank you for his life. Thank you for his talents. Thank you for his ability to organize and produce, which we have seen time and time and time again over the last several years. We'd ask that you would open our ears to hear what important things will be shared tonight. Give us a spirit of willingness to be challenged, to be exhorted, to be encouraged. And may all that transpires this evening bring glory and honor to you. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Without further ado, would you please welcome Tiger Cockthod.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. This is a very special night for me because as I am finishing up my Master of Arts in Community Music program here at Judson, this night is something that I've been kind of preparing for a little bit now, and it's ebbed and flowed and changed. But even so, the concept of tonight that I want to share with you is based off of my master's research project that I've been working on. It's been about how we as a community can have the opportunity to share stories in music and theater specifically with those around us. But unfortunately, we still live in a society where it's actively a challenge for those who are people of color to find themselves in roles and situations that apply to theater. And so tonight, it's going to be a little bit of a celebration of people of color in theater. And so all the songs that you're going to hear tonight are either songs that have been written or performed, or just generally celebrates people of color. And so the first 4 songs are a little bit more explicitly written by people of color, and then the last 4 are more, in a sense, celebrates diversity as a whole. In the middle of the night, we are going to have a round table where I've invited some of our participants and singers for the night to just share a little bit about what their experience has been like being a part, being an actor, being a director in the theater community, and just having an open conversation about what that's like. And so I just encourage everyone, including our performers tonight, just to have an open mind and open heart for tonight as we dive into some of these heavier topics and things like that. But we'll start off with a couple of songs. And so to start off, we're gonna have my good friend Jade singing Breathe. Give it up for Jade.
This is my street. I smile at the faces I've known all my life. They regard me with pride, and everyone's sweet. They say you're going places. So how can I say that while I was away? I had so much to hide. Hey guys, it's me, the biggest disappointment, you know. The kid couldn't hack it. She's back, she's walking real slow. Welcome home, just breathe. Just breathe. As the neighborhood plays with forgotten boleros, I think of the days when the city was mine. I remember the praise I bear, the oro te quiero, and everyone waved and said, Nina, be brave and you're gonna be fine. And maybe it's me, but it all seems like lifetimes ago. So what do I say to these faces that I used to know? Hey, I'm home. Hey, they're not worried about me. They are all counting on me to succeed. I am the one who made it out, the one who always made the grade. But maybe I should have just stayed home. When I was a child, I stayed wide awake, climbed to the highest place on every fire escape, reckless to climb. I got every scholarship, saved every dollar, the first to go to college. And I told me now I'm coming back home with my eyes on the horizon. Just me and the GWP, asking Gina, what'll you be? Straighten the spine, smile for the neighbors. Everything's fine, everything's cool. The standard reply, lots of tests, lots of papers. Smile, wave goodbye, and pray to the sky. Oh God, what will my parents say? Can I go in there and say, I know that I'm letting you down? Just
Thanks, Jade. Next up, we have one of my very good friends, Ira Gerard. She'll be singing Somewhere from West Side Story. Give it up for Ira.
There's a place for us somewhere, a place for us, peace and quiet and open air. Wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us somewhere, a time for us, time together with time to spare, time to learn, time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a way of forgiving somewhere.
This next song that we'll be doing is sung by my very good friend, Melissa Heckler. This is How Far I'll Go. Give it up for Melissa.
I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water no matter how hard I try. I take every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I long to be. See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. And the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me. One day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this island has a role on this island. Everything is by design. I know everybody on this island seems so happy on this island. So maybe I can roll with mine. I can lead with pride, I can make us strong. I'll be satisfied if I play along with the voice and song, sings a different song. What is wrong with me? See the light as it shines in the sea, it's blinding, and no one knows how deep it goes. And it seems like it's calling out to me, so come find me and let me know what's beyond that line. Will I cross that line to the light where it shines in the sea? It calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind on my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know how far I'll go.
Oh man, that was a lot of fun. So I will be singing a song that I wrote. And back in 2019, over in the Thulin Auditorium, was able to produce and perform my very own musical that I wrote called Finding Home. It was kind of like my undergrad, final presentation. And so tonight I'll be singing two songs from that show. I'll be singing one a little bit later because one of our singers for tonight wasn't able to make it, and so I figured I would just do another one. So the song is called Crazy Lullaby. Finding love in the middle of a storm, it's as hard as it sounds. My head spins around and I'm lost for words, because you are so perfect. But love is hard and what I'm feeling is hard to deny. My heart passes by but I can't explain. What's in my brain is so helpless. So don't be scared that this love's just for now. 'Cause I can't bear
letting you down. So I'll be here if you find that there is more for your heart to love. Just know I care. You can meet me here in the mess of your crazy lullaby. Just don't say goodbye. Telling stories in the middle of the night, you can laugh and cry. The time passing by and I can't miss it. No, I won't miss this kind of love. I didn't ask for this, but I want it, 'cause life just takes me on a magic carpet. So will you fly with me, fly away so far. So I'll be here if you find that there is more for your heart to love. Just know I care. You can meet me here in the mess of your crazy lullaby. Just don't say goodbye, or time will be lost, but you won't be alone. 'Cause love has no time, but we both will have grown. 'Cause love is a battlefield, I'll be fighting for you. 'Cause love is a battlefield, I'll be fighting for you. Fighting for you. Fighting for you. So I'll be here if you find that there is more for your heart to love. Just know I care. I can meet you there in the mess of your crazy lullaby. Just don't say goodbye. Just don't say goodbye. Thank you. For this part of tonight, I'm just going to go ahead and invite you guys on stage if you are looking to participate in this portion of the event. So when we were looking to present this night, and as I was having some conversations with some people, but for the most part, don't take a seat where we like. I figured that it was important for me to begin dialoguing with people, theater people specifically, about what it's been for them to be a part of this community music, community theater kind of industry space, and really like just having an open conversation about what their experience has been like, and not like we're here to change the world or anything, but I'm with some people in here who have some good amount of influence and can have a good amount of influence in their communities, in their circles. So I'm very glad to be up here with these three women, to be able to have just a open, short conversation about what it's been like to be working in the theater industry as a person of color. And so, thanks for doing this. I realized I didn't share with you all the questions, and so I just feel free to answer whatever you'd like, and you don't have to answer every question, and I probably won't get through all of these anyways. But this, and obviously this will be kind of dependent on what their background is within theater, as an actor, maybe as a musician, as a director, just anything in between. And so kind of just take it, if you feel like it applies to you, then give it a shot. So this first question is about casting. I think a lot of people ask me personally, Tiger, what's your dream role, like as an actor? I'm like, I don't think there is one for me because they haven't made one yet. And I want to ask, just throw out the question, how can community theaters ensure that they have racial diversity in their casting, and within like their production teams as well? So kind of just the idea of like, what is it, what can we do, what can theater companies do to maybe ensure more that they're actually trying to reach out for diversity? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful question. My name's Annalisa. I'm born and raised in the Elgin area and just been a part of a lot of community theater on all different levels. I think my biggest like right away answer is to never have like a stereotype in your head of what you want it to look like. If you want your cast to be authentic, if you want the show to be authentic, don't go into it with a like, oh, it needs to look like it did in the movie, or it needs to look like the cartoons, because that's a cartoon, and it's not reality. And a lot of times when you have a diverse artistic team and just artistic teams that doesn't only mean like having people of color in there, but like having just things that aren't typical, like whether that's a male choreographer or just like things that are not considered the norm. It just brings everybody into it with a new mindset, because you're just going into it with like everybody has a different like niche for wanting to be there and wanting to create magic on stage. And so my biggest thing is just not going into it with typecasting. Anybody can be the princess.
Yeah, totally. That's huge. I remember like when what's that movie with the woman, the mermaid, Little Mermaid? It was such a big deal that what's her name? Who played Halle Berry? Yeah, I was like, she's a mermaid. She doesn't need. It doesn't matter what color she is.
Yes, exactly.
So, just to add to Annalisa's, when I was like 20 years ago and back in Mexico, I got it was a lot of, oh no, but you're not white, we'll have you play a maid, or we'll have you, so it was the stereotype of brown color, you're a nurse, or a teacher, or the cleaning lady. And I remember Mary Ferreira just saying something about that, and they're like, well, can you be more Latina? And she goes, I'm a Latina. This is it. What you see is what you get. And now I see that theaters and production companies are opening their like mind to get out of that typecasting. And I'm thinking, wow, finally, maybe I can go audition for Roxy, because she doesn't have to be a redheaded, for Chicago, I'm sorry, Roxy for Chicago, because she doesn't have to be redheaded. She could be a Latina, right? And also like breaking the stereotypes with age too, like it doesn't have to be a 12-year-old or 18. It could be, the diversity comes in ages and also in colors. And like you said, like the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid could be a 30-year-old Asian woman, and it would work. It would work. So, just a second, her opinion.
I've seen this a lot as someone who grew up doing a lot of community theater. There was always like, well, you don't really fit the part. You don't really fit the part, but we're going to cast a white Jasmine in Aladdin. And, that, or a white Aladdin, and I was just like, okay, if that's the role you want to go down. I mean, I'm very pale, so is it really a skin color thing, or is it I mean, it is, first of all, it is, but second of all, or is it more your internal prejudice? And so, to the idea itself. And then I really like that, thinking about that aspect of fitting this, be more Latina, okay. My mom, born and raised in Puerto Rico, and she came to the States, and she has a degree in theater, and she's an actress. And she gets called because it says on her card, Puerto Rican. And she gets called, and they're like, oh, sorry, you're not what we're looking for. And she's like, well, I'm wearing my hoops. Like, well. But no, in all seriousness, it's difficult because there's no right answer. You can't be more of who you are, but also you can't be who you are to fit what they want. And so it's about tackling, how do we figure out that issue? How do we get to the crux of that issue? And it starts from the beginning.
I think there should be more writers and producers doing more Latin theme theater, like 18 years ago, Lin-Manuel Miranda started doing his theater. There should be more of that, like Tiger Kong, because we need, the writers and the playwrights to write about our life, our perspective, and our whereabouts, and in general, just to display what life is like for us. So it comes with the playwrights writing, and the musicians writing a play, and from there, and our perspective, our what do you call it? I'm forgetting the word, but our story displayed in theater and in film.
Absolutely, and as I've had the opportunity to dive into some research about playwriting, as a playwriter myself, it is very challenging for the big Broadway. So when we think of industry, a lot of the times we don't have control over the industry. It's like when you are, as a musician, you only hear top 40 stuff on the radio or on Spotify. It's the same way when we look at what is trending on Broadway. What do we see? Because at the end of the day, Broadway is very much just a commercial. It's commercialized in the sense of people, and more specifically, upper class white people more often finding themselves going to see and pay for hundreds of dollars on Broadway. And so what does that mean for news stories to be shared on a global level? You're not going to find very many shows like in the Heights where it's like a luck of the draw kind of an idea of maybe this will hit for the masses, but there have been many shows within the last couple of years that may do well from a creative standpoint, but from a commercial standpoint, they don't do very well. And so they're not streamlining. So there's this connection from New York, Broadway, sometimes Chicago, sometimes the UK, like that own what theater looks like. And then there is that connection straight to your little community theater here in Elgin that is taking a glimpse at what is popular and saying, I want to do something like that. But what happens is sometimes it's not well fit for your community. Sometimes you'll have maybe a high school with primarily white Caucasians is doing a production of In the Heights, and you're like, ooh, that sounds a little messy there. It's because they're looking to push into what diversity could look like, but there's not a lot of variety because of what Broadway has to offer. And so my next question that I want to ask is, what steps can community theaters take to push diversity within their communities if they don't feel like they have diversity to begin with? I mean, we're blessed here in Elgin because there's a lot of diversity, but I've been to lots of different places and communities that might not have that. And so what do they do when there isn't that kind of access?
Well, I want to circle back to my first thing that I said about casting a white Jasmine in Aladdin. Questionable, in my opinion, at best questionable. But if I was to ask the directors, hey, why was this decision? Well, we didn't have anyone who could play the role of Jasmine who was not a white person. Well, why is that? I think is the question we're all trying to answer here. And so, first of all, I think it's a major sociological issue, and I think that it goes to sometimes there's this barrier of what we are told we cannot do and what we are told we can do. It's first that. Second of all, it's an economic issue. Theater, as much as I wouldn't like it to be, is a luxury. And there's a lot of times where underprivileged communities simply cannot afford to do community theater as an extra time. We have to work, or it's expensive to do. Sometimes there's a fee that you have to pay, so there's the economic part of it as well. And so one thing that I encountered on Choir Tour actually a year ago, oh my god, it was only a year ago, when we went to this one ministry in Buffalo, New York called Peace of the City. And they had a really interesting theater program there where they encouraged students who were maybe at risk or maybe in places where they couldn't afford to do either time-wise or otherwise to their normal community theater, or there wasn't one. And so they provided this, and what they did is they said, okay, in this one program, they took Shakespeare and put it in more understandable English to people who haven't been trained to speak ye olde English, which is another way that theater is often inaccessible to people. But they put it in words that anyone could understand, and then they said, how does this apply to your life? And how do students take it and apply it to their life, and rewrote it in their own words, and had them perform it to their communities who may not understand, going from a young age to adolescence, and then the students graduate, and it actually gave them opportunities to go to college and from then on a career. But starting from that childhood, from that young age of saying, this is something you can do. This is something you can do, and you can want to do it. It's okay to want to do it. Because that is also a thing, you do theater, oh my God. No, you can do this, and that's a beautiful thing. So starting from that, and then we have to look at the socioeconomic issues, but that's a whole nother issue entirely.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this question. Elgin is like, I think over 70% Latin and Hispanic. 70 is the minimum, I'm pretty sure it's over that. And in so much community theater in the Elgin area, you won't find those people on stage. And which is crazy, because like in my high school was a very diverse high school. All of our leads were of the Latin and Hispanic community, because it was free to do high school productions. You didn't have to pay to do high school productions. And that's like, it is what she's saying, and so like, that's so sad. There's so much talent, but you won't get to see it because they can't afford it. And that is a whole separate issue, but it goes into what I'm about to say. I think that one of the biggest things is when you don't have the people coming to audition for your shows yet, in my personal opinion, a lot of it is, well, one, they can't afford it, but two, if they don't see representation in that program, why would they go? They're not going to go somewhere where they feel like they're not going to be wanted. I grew up in very wealthy theater companies and very wealthy like dance schools, and I was never the wealthy kid. I was the scholarship kid, and I'm very proud to be the scholarship kid. I have so much knowledge, and like I've learned so much having an outside view of being part of those programs. I think a different kind of thankfulness for it too. Being like, I wouldn't have done it without those scholarships, but it's just such a different kind of appreciativeness. I don't even know if that's a word. Is that a word? For what I did there. And so I work really closely with Children's Theater of Elgin. I'm on their board of directors for equity, diversity, and inclusivity. And this has been huge conversations this past year. Like, how do we get our program to all of these kids, to the under-resourced, underprivileged children in Elgin who are predominantly Mexican and Black. That's just what it is. And one of the biggest things that we've been pushing is that every single time we have a directing team, a production team, artistic team, we always make sure that we are inviting people of color to be on our directing team, so that when kids come, even if it's only one or two at a time, there's people there. Like, how are they supposed to grow up to want to like admire that when it's like, you need somebody that has your background, that has your understanding, that has the experiences you've had, and having that diversity on that directing team makes a whole other kind of show process, because everybody's coming into it with a different kind of expertise. In my theater company I grew up in, it felt like so many of the like it was a wealthy industry, it was a wealthy company, so they it took the community out of community theater. It was no longer community theater. It was just competition theater, and that's never what it should be. And with specifically Children's Theater of Elgin, we do camps in the underprivileged areas of Elgin, and we do 5 every summer now, and we choose specific projects of Elgin to go into that community and offer scholarships and say you can do this too. This is not just for them or for that. Everybody can do this. We're for everybody, and it's beautiful that this one company has that. They have an entire board dedicated to diversity, equity, and inclusivity. Not every theater company has that, but that is what I'm hoping. I'm 23, and that's what I hope to see become the new norm in the next 10 years,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
So when we were, some of us participated in the Heights, and what here in Elgin through UAC, Up and Coming Theater, where Tiger was our vocal coach and leader. So one of the things that, for me, that I was blown away was that the people that came were always people that, like you said, had the money, had the resources to spend, but we never had Latino from our community come and see, and there was a lot, the cast was pretty well casted, and we were Latinos. There was a lot of us that were, or are, sorry, and it blew me away that we didn't have the people that I speak to daily, that I know that are Mexicans or Colombian or Puerto Rican. We didn't have that. So I think sometimes it's also about the channels, because there was representation, but we didn't get our voice out there. I don't know how to explain it, but it blew me away that I didn't see the people that I encounter every day that are like me, Latinos.
Yeah, I think about that fairly often. Had I wish I had a little bit of a more major role, I would have loved to find ways to work in and through that. And so that kind of dives into like our last question that I want to get to everyone. There oftentimes when we are looking to produce theater, I really believe, especially here in doing community theater, the last like 3-4-ish years for me personally, community theater and community music in general, needs to be this level of access for our communities to be involved. But we need to consider access in terms of allowing those that we're a part of, the communities that we're a part of, to actually be able to come and be a part of community theater. Like in very simplest terms, community theater is meant for their community. And oftentimes I see, unfortunately, community theaters using their community more as this is where we're located kind of thing. This is where we're putting on our shows. It's not bringing them in. And so for our last question, and obviously we talked for a very long time about this, but I just want to ask each of you, what ways can we better find ways to integrate our community within the theater that we do in a little bit more of a practical kind of way? Like, how can we start bringing people in, whether it's through the shows that we do or the outreach that you can do? Like, what are some practical ways that we can allow for our community to be more of a way of access within our community theater?
To get people to audition, use the same channels that you would put your show, your musical out there, right? So make sure that you're bringing those people that represent the community to audition. And then use those same channels to let the show be known, to market the show. So both. I think that's what happened in UAC, in the Heights, that we didn't market towards the ideal audience. That would have been the Latino audience from Elgin and surrounding areas, Dundee and maybe St. Charles, I don't know. But that's right off the top. And making sure that people know that a show's about to be put on, and that it requires a huge amount of the representation. In our area, it's a Latino, but if you go to Schaumburg, it might be the Indian, because there's a huge community that also needs to be represented. Like, they could play Jasmine. There we go.
I think that one of the biggest ways that, aside from that, that could help do those things is, I feel like there's a lot of othering people in the theater, in America in general, but especially in creative communities such as this that are, as I said before, like a luxury. One can feel almost out of place, as though they don't belong, even just sitting in an audience. And I think welcoming people in a way that feels comfortable, rather than, and there's a lot of different ways in it. every community has to be different, you know, that's the point. It cannot be some cookie cutter of like, oh, this is a theater, and this is what a theater looks like, and this is what this has to feel like, you know? I think it starts from the feeling the sort of comfortableness of this is a space that I am allowed to exist in. This is somewhere that I am allowed to be, and I am allowed to be comfortable with that. You know, I belong here, even as an audience member, especially as an audience member, you know? And I think there's just a lot that goes into that.
I think there's so many different ways you can answer this question, and there's so many answers, or like different people's perspectives of like, their reasoning is to like, oh no, this is what I think would be the best, and I think that's so beautiful. The first thing that comes to my mind when you ask this question was something that Children's Theater of Elgin does, which it's unfortunate that they're not able to do this for every show, but what they do once a year, they offer Spanish subtitles for their production. And especially because in Elgin, you know, over 70% Hispanic, a lot of those people are Spanish speakers first. Some of them, English is their second language, they speak very broken English, or they just don't speak English at all. And those shows where I don't speak fluent English by any means, but I've volunteered at some of those shows, and they get the word out to the right communities, and they like to the schools and the high schoolers, and they bring their families, but they offer Spanish subtitles, and it's so beautiful and cool because that audience was filled with beautiful Latin and Hispanic families and kids and adults and grandparents. And I remember like getting emotional seeing that because I was like, oh my gosh, I've been doing theater forever and I've never seen this. And it clicked in my head like, oh my, well, of course they're here because they're able to enjoy it now, and they probably couldn't have before. And the unfortunate reality is that not every show allows you to do that. You have to pay like hundreds of more dollars in order to do it, which is actually insane because it does not benefit anybody. Like it's to have to pay more money to offer subtitles in a language that people understand. It's sad that it costs so much. Otherwise, it should be more of an accessible option. But like that, like for the Elgin community, that was so impactful and such a big opportunity for families to come and experience something they don't usually get to do.
Yeah, I think overall, the idea of just being able to create access is a step that we need to consider more often as just people who enjoy the arts. I'm thinking, is this something that my dad and my mom, who don't very much know English at all, like, are they able to still take away what they can take away from going to a theater experience? I think those conversations need to have had more, and so and obviously we can talk for much longer, but we want to continue our night. But I think this is a great conversation to had, and my hope is that we can continue to have these conversations within our communities, because I think they're very important. I think as much as we can try to hope for the best, I think we often have to begin acting towards wanting to see a community and an arts community, more specifically, that is open and towards racial diversity and diversity in general. And I'm thankful to have been a part of that in very unique ways, and there are times where I wish that would be more of the case, and there are times where I'm very glad that I was a part of certain things. And I think all of our stories of disappointment and just like hurts and anything that we go through, I really believe that like it is so that we can have different outlooks and the opportunities to be able to create change in our communities. And so thanks guys for being part of this. Can you give it up for them? So we only have a couple more songs left. So I'm gonna, and we'll get us out here pretty soon here, because this next song that I'll be singing, it is called "Let Me Go." It's one of my another song that I wrote for my musical Finding Home, and I don't know. This song has very, very much become a kind of a staple for my musical, about wanting to just like look towards more in life and feeling the comfortability of letting go and leaving home. So this is "Let Me Go." Back at home, I would run to another place, somewhere far, where I'd get lost and be okay. Cause I wanted it to be somewhere I wouldn't be scared. Just a home when no one was there. Let me go, Mama, don't be afraid to. Let me go farther, I promise we'll make it through all life's battles together. I'll be here forever. Losing time, running far from my mistakes. Still a kid, I would always be okay. Cause I never thought I'd be running away. Losing home was never the same. Let me go, Mama, don't be afraid to. Let me go farther, I promise we'll make it through all life's battles together. be here forever. But I could never leave you. I wish that I could find you, but I know I'm still with you. Let me go, Mama. Don't be afraid to let me go farther. I promise we'll make it through all life's battles together. I'll be here forever. Next up, I want to invite a really good friend of mine to sing Proud of Your Boy. Please welcome Armani.
I'll make you proud of your boy. Believe me, bad as I've been, you're in for a pleasant surprise. I've wasted time, I've wasted me. Some say I'm slow for my age, a late bloomer. Okay, I agree that I've been one rotten kid. Some sun, some pride, and some joy. But I'll get over these lousing up, messing up, screwing up times. You'll see now comes the better part. Someone's gonna make good across his stupid heart. Make good and finally make you proud of your boy. Tell me that I've been a mouse and a loafer. You won't get a fight here, no man. Say I'm a gold brick, a goof off, no good, but that couldn't be all that I am. Water flows under the bridge, let it pass, let it go. There's no good reason that you should believe me, not yet. I know, but someday and soon I'll make you proud of your boy. Though I can't make myself taller or smarter or handsome or wise, I'll do my best. What else can I do? Since I wasn't born perfect like Dad or you. Mom, I will try hard to make you proud of your boy.
All right, next up, you saw her a little bit earlier. Please welcome Annalisa as she sings Home from Beauty and the Beast.
made the choice. For Papa, I will stay. But I don't deserve to lose my freedom in this way, you monster. If you think that what you've done is right, well then, you're a fool. Think again. Is this home? Is this where I should learn to be happy? Never dreamed that a home could be dark and cold. I was told every day in my childhood, even as we grow old, home will be where the heart is. Never were words so true. My heart's far, far away. Home is true. Is this home? Is this what I must learn to believe in? Try to find something good in this tragic place, just in case I should stay here forever, held in this empty space. Oh, but that won't be easy. I know the reason why. My heart's far, far away. Home's alive. What I give to return to the life that I knew lately, and I know that I can't solve my problems going back. Is this home? Am I here for a day or forever? Shut away from the world until who knows when. Oh, but then, as my life has been altered, once it can change again. Build higher walls around me, change every lock and key. Nothing lasts, nothing holds all of me. My heart's far, far away, home and
Well, thank you again so much for coming out tonight. We have one more song for you, but again, I just want to thank all of my incredible performers for tonight, to be able to have this very special night. Yeah, just thanks for coming out on a Saturday night, and yes, just thank you again, and I hope you have a good rest of your night. After this song, I want to welcome up my good friend Ira, and he'll be singing Beautiful City from Godspell.